At Auto Shanghai 2023, BYD made the public debut of the Seagull subcompact electric vehicle and began pre-sales of the vehicle. After making its debut in front of the world during a press conference at an auto show, the B-segment hatchback is already looking like it will be a huge hit, as the carmaker has already said that it has received 10,000 pre-orders in the first 24 hours. But that's not all. The CEO of BYD has said that the $11,000 BYD Seagull would wipe out the competition among electric vehicle companies. Now let's find out how that will happen. The BYD Seagull, as well as the potential of the EV revolution. The unveiling of BYD's Seagull battery electric city car in Shanghai may have been a watershed moment in the development of electric vehicles. Historians, looking back on the event years from now, would refer to that occasion as the moment in time when the world of transportation moved from dependence on the infernal combustion engine to acceptance of battery electric cars as the new normal. But why is it the case? Because the BYD Seagull is a genuine electric car, it is perfect for those who require a vehicle that can transport them to and from work, carry some groceries, drive them to the beach on a nice day, and generally carry out the responsibilities of a passenger car without leaving any pollution in its wake. Up until recently, practically all electric automobiles were either expensive models or small quadricycles. But the Seagull is not like the other automobiles. It's a hatchback that seats 4 people, and it's only a hair shorter than a Mini Cooper, but somewhat bigger than a Fiat 500. The most amazing piece of information, however, is that its base price in China is less than $11,000, which puts it at a lower price point than a gasoline-powered Honda Fit. It has always been said that yeah, it costs more upfront, but it saves a lot of money in the long run. However, that is about to change. Customers are able to take pride in their purchase of an electric vehicle, which not only has a lower initial cost, but also helps them save money over the course of their ownership. The Seagull is based on BYD's e-Platform 3.0, and it is part of the Ocean series, which also includes the Dolphin and the Seal. The front wheels are propelled by a single electric motor that has 75 horsepower, 55 kilowatts, and 135 newton meters of torque. It can reach a peak speed of 130 kilometers per hour, and it can accelerate from 0 to 50 kilometers per hour in 4.9 seconds. There are 2 different BYD Blade battery pack capacities available for the Seagull, 30.08 kWh and 38.88 kWh. The range of the vehicle with the smaller battery pack is 305 kilometers, 190 miles, whereas the vehicle with the bigger battery pack has a range of 405 kilometers, 251 miles. Both sets of estimates are derived from the very optimistic CLTC standard that is most often used by Asian manufacturers. When utilizing a fast charger, it takes just 30 minutes to bring both battery packs from 30% to 80% of their maximum capacity. In addition, there are rumors circulating in the Chinese automotive media that BYD intends to make available a sodium-ion battery pack for the Seagull later on in this year. If this turns out to be the case, the cost of the vehicle will very certainly decrease to an even more affordable level. But the driving range will almost certainly be reduced as well, given that sodium batteries do not have the same level of energy density as LFP batteries and lag well behind NMC batteries in this respect. However, a mere $13,000 is required to purchase the Seagull in its most expensive configuration, which includes each and every option available. Will there be a performance by the Seagull in Peoria, USA? Consumers in the United States often anticipate that a vehicle should be able to transport at least 7 people, a week's worth of camping equipment, and a ski boat up a mountain to a lake during the summer vacation season. But the BYD Seagull is unable to fulfill any of these expectations, which is one of the many reasons why it is unlikely to become popular in the United States. Even though every SUV has a hatchback vehicles don't appear to be popular with buyers in the United States. If a car is going to sell in significant numbers in the United States, it has to be either an SUV or a pickup truck. However, in this particular scenario, the American ideal of exceptionalism works against the interests of consumers in the United States. Therefore, automobiles that are compact and fuel efficient are seeing a surge in popularity around the globe, particularly in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, South and Central America, India, Japan, Australia, and Asia. Also, BYD has not indicated that it intends to export the Seagull. Nevertheless, if it were to do so, it would most certainly find ready markets for the vehicle everywhere other than in North America. The future seems more promising in Europe. Forbes reached out to Ferdinand Dudenhofer, the director of the Center for Automotive Research in Germany, to inquire about his thoughts on how the Seagull may attract the attention of motorists in European countries. He said that it is doubtful that Europeans would have an interest in automobiles with few features. He said in an email, "It sounds interesting at first glance, but let's talk about some details." It was brought to his attention that European motorists have shown little interest in compact automobiles such as the Microlino and the Citroën Ami. "Are you familiar with the Tata Nano?" he said. "It was planned to be a revolutionary movement, but in the end, it was a failure." According to Dudenhofer, safety features like airbags, door reinforcement, electronic safety, and other similar features are becoming more common in European compact automobiles. The Microlino and the Citroën Ami are not considered to be automobiles. It's not always an automobile just because something has four wheels. According to Dudenhofer, "I believe that we will see entry-level electric vehicles with a range of 350 kilometers, 218 miles, and real car safety, connectivity, and comfort between 15,000 euros and 20,000 euros in the near future." According to Forbes, consumers who shop at lower price points in the market demand electric vehicles that are both compact and affordable. And these automobiles would not be designed with a large range in mind. Rather, they would concentrate on the tasks that electric power is most suited to do, such as commuting, shopping, and transporting children to and from school. Because most charging would take place in people's homes, costly high-power charging networks wouldn't be required. In other words, these automobiles would have very modest batteries, which would result in a smaller overall carbon footprint. According to Patrick Kohler, CEO of the French auto supplier Faurecia, China is poised to launch an assault on the entry-level electric vehicle market in Europe. He estimated that China might sell 1 million electric vehicles of all varieties per year in this region, which would account for around 8% of the overall European new car market. Quoted in a news article on the Shanghai Auto Show, he said, "I think an attractive car for Chinese consumers will be an attractive car for a European consumer." The BYD Seagull lesson for the USA. The BYD Seagull is an ideal vehicle for about 90% of the tasks that individuals do while driving, and those who make snide comments about its diminutive size and dirt-cheap pricing should take a minute to reflect on what transpired in the United States after the introduction of the Yugo and the Hyundai Excel. The level of demand skyrocketed to an all-time high. Therefore, one may argue that the BYD Seagull is more advanced than any of those automobiles. But will we ever see it in the United States? This is a very remote possibility, but BYD's success with the product does not depend on whether or not it is offered for sale in the USA. BYD has, in a sense, issued a challenge to Elon Musk and Tesla by issuing this statement: "Construct a reasonably cost electric vehicle or we will." In point of fact, they have done so already. What does the foreseeable future hold for EVs? According to Kiplinger, the process of internal combustion engines becoming outdated has already started, even if it is unlikely that electric automobiles will take the place of gas-powered vehicles in the foreseeable future. Thus, to bring electric vehicle future forecasts closer to reality, several things will need to happen. It will be necessary for there to be a large increase in both the manufacture of batteries and the infrastructure for charging electric cars. And customers will need to accept electric cars and demand those changes in order for those shifts to occur, which is maybe the most crucial element. Forecast for the expansion of the electric car market. The International Energy Agency forecasts that the number of electric cars on the road will increase to 14 million in 2023 as a result of sales of electric vehicles in 2023 almost doubling to 8 million, a sales share of over 9% from the previous year's sales. Because hybrid electric vehicles, also known as HEVs, may be powered by both gasoline engines and electric motors, their numbers are not included in that total. According to professionals in the relevant business, even if it may not seem like much, the pace is picking up. Also, experts at TrueCar, an online marketplace for the purchase and selling of automobiles, anticipate that there will be a greater number of models than ever before, with more than 100 electric vehicle types expected to be on the market by the end of 2024. According to protocol, the proportion of electric cars to gas cars will gradually increase as well. By the year 2025, sales of electric vehicles could account for up to 20% of new car sales. By the year 2030, sales of electric vehicles could reach 40% of new car sales, and by the year 2040, sales of electric vehicles could account for nearly all sales of new cars. That is very incredible. And that wraps things up. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next one.